Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. So I'm going to make this video very quick because yesterday's one was very long. So I'm going to try and make a quick video today. I'm only going to be talking about three subjects. Number one is India's treachery. Number two is, did Marco Rubio admit that America went into war with Iran because of Israel? And number three, the UK has just admitted that the attack on the RAF base did not come from Iran. So where did it come from? Sounds like another false flag attack by Israel. I'm going to be discussing that. But first of all, I'm going to be talking about India's treachery. So here's the story, guys. I don't know if you have heard this, but there was an Iranian ship just off the coast of India and basically got sunk by a US submarine. And this ship was not armed, by the way. It was in India for some sort of parade. They had a naval parade going on. So around 170 soldiers or sailors died, and nobody went to help, basically. The Americans didn't go to help, and the Indians didn't go to help, even though they sent various, help SOS signals. So here's what we know. I mean, we know that the Indian ship went to India on an invite by India. India actually invited Iran. And the ship went to India. They did the parade and celebration. And when it left the Indian port, it got attacked by the US sub. It's almost like the sub was waiting for them to come out. So they knew that ship was there. And they attacked the ship in international waters as well. So this means that Iranians anywhere around the world are targets. So it's fair game then. I think Iranians around the world should target any US military bases anywhere around the world. I think it becomes fair game. And not only that, anyone can attack US military targets around the world and blame the Iranians. So imagine there's a ship of Russia, and let's just say maybe a Russian sub, fires at a US ship and sinks it. Who do you think is going to get the blame? Iran is going to get the blame, right? They're going to say, "Oh, Iran did it." So anyone can attack any American assets around the world and just blame Iran. So it's fair game, guys. This is how they want to play this game, by the sounds of it. So that Iranian ship was completely defenseless. He had no weapons, no nothing. All he was doing was in India for a parade. Secondly, there's been no condemnation of this incident by Modi, by the way. He's not sent any condemnation towards Iran whatsoever. He's not supported Iran in this war. However, he has gone to Israel one day before this war to give his support to Netanyahu and the USA. So it wouldn't surprise me if Modi was involved. Maybe Modi told the Americans or the Israelis, "Hey, listen, guys, there's an Iranian ship docked in India, and it's here for this day. It's going to leave on this day. So when it leaves, you know, you're welcome to do what you want with it, but don't attack it while it's in the port in India. Otherwise, I'm going to get slaughtered. So wait for it to leave, then you guys can do whatever you want." I think Modi has got something to do with it. So this is why nobody can trust the Indians really. And you can see a lot of posts here. They're saying India is the PROS of South Asia, And I've been looking at Twitter. India is getting a lot of flack for this, guys. Absolutely a lot of flack. Because even in Nazi World War II times, when Nazi boats used to get sunk, they still used to save the sailors, and vice versa. When British ships got sunk, the Nazis used to save the British sailors. So it's like a code, it's like a code of the sea. End of the day, you're supposed to do what you can to save lives. Even the Indians didn't do anything, and SOS was sent out. So it goes to show that Indians cannot be trusted, and Iran has actually trusted India a lot. Because I remember when China signed the deal with Iran, the 400 billion deal in 2021, China wanted full access to the port, Chabahar port, because that Chabahar port is very vital to the Belt and Road, but also for India, because you know there's a relationship between India and Iran goes back for a long time, and Iran and India always had good relations, and they had good relations because India had bad relations with Pakistan, but India focused on having good relations with Iran, mainly because they used to buy Iranian oil before the sanctions, by the way. They used to buy Iranian oil. And also, Iran is a way for India to send goods to Europe. So, this is why India needed Chabahar port. So, basically, they send goods to Chabahar, and there's a train line going all the way from Iran north, and it goes towards Turkey, then from Turkey it goes into Europe. And India has been making full use out of that port. So China wanted that port, but Iran basically gave it to India. And now India has basically stabbed Iran in the back. Uh, and you can see, like, India has completely supported Netanyahu. He went to Israel one day before this attack. So yeah, Modi knew about this. I mean, imagine going to Israel one day before an attack, meeting Netanyahu. He must have known, guys. 100% he knew, but he didn't say anything to Iran. So here's the thing: India needs Iran, by the way, guys, because they don't have a good relationship with Pakistan, and Pakistan borders Iran. So, and also Iran has plenty of oil and gas. There's going to come a time when oil price is going to get so high, and there's not going to be enough oil in the world, basically. And I think India is going to really suffer. Even now, oil prices are going really high. But they could have bought really cheap oil from Iran if they wanted to, because the Strait of Hormuz is blocked. So India cannot get the oil from Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and Bahrain and Iraq and places like that because it's blocked. And also the Red Sea, um, the strait near where Yemen is, also that's also blocked as well. So India's going to really struggle this time. And also, India is part of the global south, and Iran is part of BRICS, SCO, and things like that, which is the same as India. So India should be supporting their brothers and sisters who are part of that group instead of a genocidal state like Israel and the West. So this is why I say, you need to kick out India from the BRICS, guys. There's no more messing around. Just kick them out, seriously. I don't even know why they're in there. They are like Trojan horse in BRICS. They are causing all sorts of issues in BRICS. I think the members of BRICS just need to have a meeting and just tell India, look, we either kick you out or you guys leave yourself. Choose. If you want to choose to be part of the West, go be part of the West. Don't be part of us. I think that's what they need to do. They need to be strong and against India, guys. No more messing around. But these guys, you cannot trust them at all. And there's a saying that you never trust a eye. If you know what I mean. And I am extremely, extremely angry about this. And the, Modi has completely made a fool out of himself and India. He has destroyed India's reputation. No country in the global south trusts India. And not even the West trusts India. Not even Trump trusts India. I mean, you can see India had the highest sanctions from Trump, higher than China. When it comes to the tariffs, India had the highest tariffs. And it was quite a laughable matter, to be honest. Even all the arse licking that Modi has done still gets the highest tariffs from Trump. And Israel, they don't care about India. I mean, you just have to look at, you know, when missiles are hitting Israel in Tel Aviv, all the Indians are banned from going to bunkers. And I've seen images where Indians are sleeping on subways, basically. So they don't trust Indians at all. The Israelis, they actually despise them. And I'm also seeing stories if Israeli women go to India, guess what? They get RAPED. There's a story that I read today. There's the Israeli woman who's saying that she got R from an Indian in India. So yeah, Modi has completely destroyed India's reputation in the world. And how do you expect to be a superpower when you're acting like this? When you're acting like complete fools and puppets? How could you allow the Americans to shoot an Iranian ship just off your coast? This is embarrassing. This means that you are allowing Americans to be around India's coast. I mean, what kind of superpower allows that? Do you think China's going to allow that? Do you think China's going to allow American subs to be floating around in the South China Sea? No, guys. Seriously, need to really sort this out, guys. I am extremely angry with them, especially with the way the Indians have been completely acting. And a lot of Indians I've seen online, they are pretty much supporting Modi. They are diehard supporters. They are in. They are living in a Bollywood film, guys. Absolutely bonkers. Seriously, they are the most propagandized people on earth. Absolute bonkers. They are so propagandized. I can't believe it. They cannot see what's real, what's not. They don't understand that it was Britain, the West, Americans, and Israelis, Jews basically, that colonized India for 200 years. All of the Western ancestors, they all did that to India. They don't care about Indians. They just use them like cattle, basically. And the Indians don't seem to get it. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Let's move to the next story. So Marco Rubio has admitted that he said that basically America attacked Iran because they were scared that Israel was going to attack Iran first, and Iran would retaliate against American bases. So that's why they said once Israel attacked Iran, America started attacking Iran as well, and they attacked together. Basically, that's what Rubio has said. So he's admitting that Israel calls the shots, basically calls the shots in America. They basically go ahead and do what they want, and America has got no choice but to follow them and do what they want. So this again shows me that who's the real superpower here? Is it America or is it Israel that's calling the shots? It seems like Israel is basically running the show here, and the Americans are happy to be their little poodles. And you can see what they're doing in this war in Iran. They have learned a lot from Gaza. They have taken a lot of lessons from Gaza, right? Killing women, civilians. They're killing children. Like they bombed a girls' school the other day, and now they're blowing up hospitals and you know schools and civilian places. They are absolutely carpet bombing Tel Aviv. They don't care who dies. So this is basically an Israeli method of war. Kill as many people as you can, and Americans are pretty much going along with it. And also the death of Ayatollah Khomeini. That's from the Israeli playbook. Israel has been killing leaders since I remember. That's what they do. They kill leaders or anybody in any leadership positions. They kill them, and that's what they've been doing all this time. And America has been learning from it. It's absolute joke, guys. Absolute joke. America needs to realize they are the superpower, and they need to be when you're a superpower, you have certain responsibilities that you need to uphold. Because if you don't, you are the superpower of the world, and you need to lead. You need to lead in terms of morality, common sense, humanity. But they're not doing that. They're basically going along with what the Israelis want and the way Israeli way of fighting. So one minute they are basically crying over Iranian deaths in the uprising, in the riots. They're saying, "Oh, we care about Iranian lives. The Iranian government is basically killing these protesters. We care about them. We don't want them to die." And next minute, what do? They carpet bomb, Tehran, kill as many innocent people as they can, kill girls, hospitals, kill whatever they can. So how can you see the double standards here? They don't really care about Iranian lives, guys. It's all a joke. End of the day, they want regime change and they want Iranians' resources, not just oil, not just gas, but also Iran has probably the third biggest, the world's third biggest rare earth minerals um, repository in Iran, untouched repository. So Iran has not been mined yet. They have so many treasures in there: gold, copper, rare earths, lithium, you name it. You know, Iran has untouched treasures because it's a country full of mountains, and these mountains have got so many, rare earths and treasures in there, basically. And that's what America wants. And they also want to split Iran into smaller pieces as well. But they were saying the same thing about Russia. If you remember when the Russia-Ukraine war started, they were saying, yeah, we want to split Russia into 20 separate states or something. And they want to do the same to Iran. And then once Iran is done, they want to come after China and they want to split China into smaller states. That's their plan. But it's not going to work. Absolutely not. It's not going to work. I'm hearing stories about the Kurds, despite being backstabbed so many times, 8 times in the past, and backstabbed by Trump many times as well. I heard that the Kurds have agreed to do a land invasion of Iran. But good luck to them, guys. I mean, one thing I know about Iranian soldiers, they are not Venezuelan soldiers or they're not Syrian soldiers. Iranian IRGC are die-hard soldiers who are trained in battle. They have trained in Syria for 10 years. They've been trained in Iraq. So these guys are battle hardened, and the Kurds will have a major problem if they go into attack Iran, because Iran will have no problem annexing all of the Kurdish areas, including northern Iraq. If the Kurds are stupid enough to attack the Iranians. Same with Azerbaijan. I'm hearing Azerbaijan is putting troops on the border. And Azerbaijan is basically, they call it the little Israel because they are Israel's BITCH. They are supplying Israel with oil and gas from the Caspian Sea. They also provide Israel all the intelligence. And they take a lot of Israeli funding. There's lots of Israeli sites in Azerbaijan who spy on Iran from there. So Azerbaijan is one of those little Israeli puppets. And I think Azerbaijan needs to be also careful. If they step too far, I think Iran will probably give them a good beating, and I think Russia will help Iran as well. So let's talk about the next story. So the next story is basically Britain has admitted that the attack on the RAF base by a drone wasn't an Iranian drone, and it didn't come from Iran. But what they don't say is where did it come from? They don't say which country it's come from. And the reason they don't say which country it's come from is because it's Israel. If it came from any other country, you would have guaranteed Britain would say, oh, this drone came from Russia, or this drone came from Iraq, or this drone came from Syria. They would have said something like that. But because they said, because it's Israel, they're like, oh, we're not gonna say where it's come from because it's security, it's intelligence. We cannot say. That's the same story the Americans say when it comes to 9/11 and you know Epstein files and all that stuff. It's all national security. Apparently, they cannot give away these secrets, all because they want to protect Israel, and Britain is doing the same to protect Israel. And Israel attacked this RAF base because they want to bring in Britain more into the war. So if Britain troops die, then Starmer will have no choice but to send more troops into the region, and maybe NATO might be more involved. Who knows? But that's the Israeli plan, and they also did false flags attacks in Saudi Arabia and UAE as well, and Qatar, and they want to bring the Arab states into the fight as well. So far, it hasn't worked because Arab states haven't really joined in yet. But I think the Arab states know there's a lot of false flags in their country done by Mossad. I think they know because there was a article released the other day, and MBS even said that we caught some Mossad spies trying to set explosives in our country. So they know the Israelis are doing everything they can to bring them into the war. So that's all I wanted to say for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now.